Okay, so besides HRM, let's discuss another important system used in the real world, which is called recommender systems. From the name, we know that this recommender system try to provide some recommendation services for users in some platforms, right? So recommender system is very useful, also very important nowadays, because nowadays we have so much information available online. If we want to try to get the information by searching, it will be very time consuming because we don't know what we are searching about at all sometimes. We may hope we have some system which can recommend some of the information for us directly based on our preference, based on our historical preference data we have in the system, right? So therefore, we want to start a recommender system in this part, which will be very important, also and used in many platforms nowadays. So we can provide with some of the information first, which can illustrate why recommender system is very important, also necessary. So for example, in Netflix, we have more than 10,000 movies available inside them. And at Amazon, we have more than 12 millions of products available. We also have more than 17 millions of music available in Spotify. At YouTube, we have so many movies or videos with more than 10 billions of videos available at YouTube, and we also have more than 200 billions of images at Pinterest. So you can see we have so much data available in the online platforms. These numbers are so big. And if you want to go over some of the information inside platforms, probably you have to spend your whole life, right, to even go over one part of the information there. So in other words, considering the large volume of data available in many of the platforms, we cannot search for such information on the internet manually. And we may need to have someone to recommend some of the items to us instead, according to our unique or personal preferences. This is the motivation why recommender system will be very important nowadays. Also, recommender system is used in many platforms, like in Amazon. When you log into the Amazon site, they can recommend you with some potential purchase automatically. It will be similar for YouTube. If you go to YouTube, they can also provide you with some recommendations as well, based on the watching history of you, in the past years, right? So they can know which kind of video you will be interested in, which kinds of videos can be recommended to you, and you are highlighted to collect them. So this is very important nowadays. Then how can we represent a recommender system? So normally in the recommender system or in different platforms, these kinds of users and objects or products will have very diverse information. Then in this page, we show you with a very simplified version of recommender systems, it covering both users and items. So according to the connection among the users and items, we know that some of the users will be interested in some of the items, right? They can be either have watched them before, have purchased them before, or be potentially interested in them, right? So by organizing users on one side, also organize the items on the other side, then the recommender system in the simplified version can be represented as a graph, right? However, the structure of the graph is very special. This graph is called bipartite graph, because we have nodes on different sides, and the edges will only be connecting users to the items. We don't have any edges connecting users to users. We don't have edges connecting items to items either, right? This is all the links will be connecting users to the items, right? This is the reason why we define this kind of recommender system as a bipartite graph instead, as we show here. So the recommender system is to infer the potential edges between users and items, either buy or not buy, for example. This is one of the ways we can define recommender systems, to do some recommendations for the user to buy something, right? And in some other side, we also want to infer the potential ratings of the user for some of the items. In other words, we can also infer the weights of the edges between users and items. These weights can be either some scores, like 1 point, 1 star, 2 star, until 5 star, for example, right? So in this way, we can do the ratings of the user for some items based on their experiences. They may like some items, they may dislike some items as well. So in other words, for this kind of recommender system, these edges will have some weights, denoting the rating scores for the user towards these items. So based on the history of the user ratings or the purchase history of user towards these items, we can want to infer, and we may want to infer what will be the potential items the user will be interested in, either to buy them or be rating them, right? So this kind of problem can also be formulated as a link projection problem, as we studied before, actually. For this kind of recommender system, we have different methods of building them. We can build this kind of recommender system as either a rating problem or as a link projection problem as well. So besides link projection, sometimes we can also study this problem as a ranking problem as well. Ranking means, if you do the search engine, we will do the ranking of the pages, of the web pages for you, right? And we can also do the rankings of the items for the user as well in a similar way. This will be a very different formulation of the problem, which will be slightly different from link prediction as we start here. So there will be different kinds of formulation for the recommended systems. We can either start this one as a link prediction problem or start this one as a ranking problem instead.